Okay, thank you everybody for coming. I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Our first item up is approval of the consent agenda items as always. Anything special to go over in here?
No, not really. We're pretty much right on track as far as our
Um,
spending.
I don't mind if everybody takes a minute to look through them, but for those of you who looked ahead in advance, does anybody have any questions or issues with the consent agenda items?
So the last two, maybe I'm in the wrong thing, but the balance doesn't change very much, right? So are you making as much money as you're?
I mean,
putting out, or
September
what?
was a big month for us because that was
love
your
your
library month. So we probably didn't raise as much in October.
It's off by like $500, that's it.
The plan for state aid thing, it's just something I have to do every year. We just have to tell the state how we plan to use the funds that they provide for us, which is, I can't remember the exact percentage, something like 7 or 8% of our budget. So we just always say that it's going to collections. I mean, it really just all goes into the revenue stream, but we say that we use it for the collections. So, yeah, that's all that is, just a copy of what I submitted to the state.
Make a motion to be accepted. Or consent agenda.
We have a motion from Anthony, we have a second from Kristen, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Consent agenda is approved. We will move on to comments from observers. I do not see any in the building. Do we have any online? We do not have any observers. I will move on to comments from friends of the library, and I know Susan's in the building because Susan is always in the building.
So I know I have something missing from these notes, but I'm just gonna go right down the list. The Friends are doing well. Let's start with that. The Friends are doing well. We do have a poinsettia sale coming up. The sign looks like this. We're going to be using Barge Farms again. We shopped it out, and people that we thought would give us a better price did not. So we just said, let's go with what we knew them from before, but we're gonna go with this. 50 plants will be delivered on December 1st. Another 50 will be delivered on December 8th. They'll be red, pink, white, and some will be pink with white stripes or something in them. They're gonna be delivered, they'll be in the library, so when you walk into the library, it'll look like a sea of beautiful flowers. You'll decide what you want, and then you'll pay the librarian, so it's gonna be very straightforward. That's the poinsettias. Books, the holiday book sale is this Saturday, the 22nd. We've been doing a book sale since 2011. And for the past maybe 5 years, we've been working collaboratively with the library and the Yellowbucka Flood, because we did one thing and they did another on 2 different days, kind of too much. So this library is going to be the place to be on Saturday. If you've never gone to Yellowbucka Flood, you must. It's fun from no matter what door you come in, all until 3 o'clock. Our sale starts at 10. Our sale is over at 4, because that's the hours of our. So we have so many books that are top quality books. We call them gift quality because they really are. Same with games and puzzles. We have music that is music that you probably will want to have. What else about that? Books, puzzles, music. The library people over in this room will be over there, but in this room, there's gonna be hot chocolate, there's gonna be library flag, there's gonna be all sorts of fun things.
Cookies, lots of cookies.
Yes, some of the people in the room will be baking cookies very soon and donating them here. But it's, there's just so many things that will be fun. It's worth coming. Something very, very, very important for the Friends is we desperately need a vice president. We've been looking since April, well, or maybe June. We've been looking since earlier this year. the qualifications are, you just have to really want to be part of the Friends board.
Hmm.
Truly, you need to want to love this library to the best of your ability. So we're looking for that. We have reached out. And we even talked to people, but one isn't gonna be ready until 2027. That's way too far. So, if you know of anybody, you can give, and you feel comfortable, you can give me their name and contact information, or you can have them call me. I give anybody my phone number, so, it's not like I worry or any of that, so just give me a heads up though, so that I'll be tuned in. So that's critical. Let's go down to here. I, as part of PCBL, the Pennsylvania Citizens for Better Library, attended the Pennsylvania Library Association's convention. And it was wonderful. It was in Erie. The PCBL presented a session for people who wanted to know more about Friends, and it was well attended. Since I'm now I will be in January, the new president of the PCBL, I am putting together a letter to reach out to all of the people who came there to give them the opportunity to know more about that so that they can be better friends for their libraries. We, the Friends of the Library Board, I wrote a letter of support for the library so that we stand up for supporting this library in whatever way is coming with whatever's happening in the building. We have a pocket here, but we have ongoing
For the Keystone
commitment
Grant.
for the, yes, we did that for the Keystone Grant, but, we're here doing that. I think there was something else that I blanked out before I wrote it down. If something pops into my head that anybody really needs to know, or if anybody has any questions or anything like that, just let me know. That's that.
Anybody have any questions now for Susan? Thank you for your update, Susan.
Sure thing.
And with that, we will move on to our commission liaison. Ann.
Budget, it's that time of year. There'll be no tax increase this year, that's the good news about it. As far as the library is concerned, we authorized a resolution for the Keystone Grant match, which will go into a bond issue. We have quite a fair amount of borrowing power. And so we're going to use some of that to raise the $700 and some odd thousand for the Keystone Grant match. And hopefully we're gonna get it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And other than that, the township, you're lucky to live in a place that is well-resourced. It's very well-resourced and, things are going along just fine. Think of anything bad, scary, or anything else to tell you, just good news.
Awesome. Any questions for Ann about municipal happenings? All right, thank you, Ann. Moving on right along, two things in my president's report. First, the reason I'm dressed a little smarter than normal is because Robin and I got to go down to the county courthouse today,
Yay.
where we got an official proclamation, and I will pass this around, which
Very nice.
recognized us for winning Library of the Year this year. Who did I meet? Dan Grisbeck. Who, yes, I was close. Grisbeck. I met Dan Grisbeck, who is our representative, and he said some very, very nice things about our library.
Sanctuary.
I'm gonna pass this around so you can, and the book Sanctuary. I'm gonna pass this around so you can read the full proclamation. They brought us up front. Robin got to say thank you on all of our behalf, and there was a photo op, and it was nice of our, the state has recognized us, the county has recognized us, so it's nice to see all these accolades rolling in. And It was kind of delightful, even though we were only there for 10 minutes.
We were in
That
the
might have been the
security line
delightful
longer
part.
than
Yeah.
we were the meeting. We were the
Yeah.
first on
That
the-
is
I
correct.
told you, right? That security line
Yeah, the
there
security,
is,
she's right. We were in the security line longer than we were in the actual meeting. But
That's right.
Dan had some very nice things to say about us, and it's nice to see us being recognized for doing the things that we think are good and proper and right and correct. The second thing, I wanted to thank this board as a whole, and I'm thanking everybody. I'm just gonna name some of the people I know, but I feel like this board has done a good job of making sure that our board has a presence at like the various events that the library does that we don't technically have to be at, but for example, I know, like, I believe it was Holiday and Mara manned the booth at the band book week. Some of us were at the Library of the Year presentation we had down here in the middle of the day one week. I went and hung out with Robin all day at the
Yes,
Arts
and I
Festival.
Saw several of the rest of you there for a while at various points. That was lovely.
Yeah, I had I believe you were at the Halloween parade. I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but you're the one I saw in your costume on Instagram.
Strawberry.
So this is my way of thanking the whole board. I feel like you are all doing a really nice job. We are all doing a really nice job of making sure we have a presence at library events that, again, we're not really required to be at, but I think Robin appreciates
Very, very much.
when she sees our faces. And there's been a lot of that lately, because again, I've been at a couple of things and then I feel bad about the things I don't get to, but then it warms my heart when I'm like, okay, this board member was there, or this board member was there.
This is
So-
the most responsive, as a whole, the most responsive board, the most participation I've ever worked with. I love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
so just thank you all for making, we devote so much time to these meetings. We devote so much time to our committee meetings, and then for us to find ways to go beyond that for the library. I just wanted to let you know I appreciate it. So enjoy passing our proclamation around, and I will turn it over to Robin for her director's report.
Basically what he said. I really don't have a whole lot. I mean, there's been a lot going on, but it's a lot of winding down the end of the year, like Ann said, we've been working on the budget, getting that all squared away. Pete and I think this comes further down, so I'll talk about that later, the budget workshop, but yeah, Yola Book of Flood is this weekend. We can absolutely use volunteers to help out, especially early in the morning, setting up tents. About 8:30, we'll be doing that.
For the record, I'm still not allowed to lift over 40 pounds, and I think those tents are 42
I
pounds,
think
so.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
I'm sorry, go
No,
on.
I don't, we don't expect, but I've got my brother eloping, he's coming up from South Carolina Friday night, and Saturday morning, he's gonna be setting up tents with me. But, yeah, so we're gonna, and then if you're here during the day, the staff, you might ask the staff if they need spelled to go take a break or something while you schlep some cookies, or, well, a lot of the staff members will be in here helping to sell the cookies and the treats and things like that. And then, there are so many events around the building, like Susan said, events like programs for the children and crafts and things like that, which I think several of you helped with last year as well. And then we've got live music, we've got the outdoor craft vendors. There's just gonna be so much going on. And then the book sale, I mean, I spend so much money there every year buying gifts because they really are. The books are gift quality, but then also there are all these wonderful like Christmas ornaments and all kinds of lovely, lovely things. So it's a really fun event. The library will also, well, when I say the library, I mean me, will have a presence at the Uptown Christmas Market on the 6th from 12 to 5. So if anybody would like to attend that, you're welcome to join me at the table. I'm hoping the weather will be nice.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting 55 and sunny, but as long as it's not raining.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I can do anything but cold rain.
I know, cold rain is just.
Like today.
Right now,
Today
yeah.
was, today was not nice.
What day is that?
It's
12/6, Saturday.
Yes.
the 6th.
Saturday.
from 12 to 5.
Mhm.
There's your Beverly Bright Night. I'm planning to attend, but we don't typically set up down there. It's too hard to get everything down there, and they don't have like tables available for us. I'd have to take a table down, find parking. So usually I just walk down and attend and participate that way. But it's a really nice event as well. If you've never been, you should check it out. They close off the street and all the lights, it's just beautiful. And it feels like every shop is open and everyone just runs in and out and tries different things. They had a drum circle one year. It was really cool.
What day is that?
That is the
The
4th.
fourth.
It's a Thursday night from, I think, 5:30 to 8, I wanna say,
Something
something
like
like that. It's in the evening on Thursday, the 4th.
Forgot.
So, yeah, like I said, there's a lot going on. The first week of December, we have several author events lined up. So if you like hearing authors, we had a great author the other night, the guy that wrote about the pawpaw fruit.
Yes.
He had a packed house. They were doing a sing-along when I walked by. It was really popular. So, they're getting some really quality authors, not, at the Eric Larson level, but we're able to bring in many more great authors that maybe people haven't been introduced to yet. So that's worked out really well for us. And we'll be doing, I think, either 3 or 4 the first week of December.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of fun stuff. And also winter reading, keep an eye out for that. I don't think they've posted when you can sign up yet, but that'll be coming soon. So I think that's all I have. Just quickly, I have, I'm going to the RAD meeting on Thursday. That's when they vote on their budget for the year. And we're expected to get a 4% increase to the county libraries overall. So that's lovely. And especially with also getting an increase from the state, which was completely kind of unexpected. We were wondering if the budget was ever gonna pass at all, and they gave us a bump, so that was lovely. And then I'm also doing a municipal goal setting exercise every year in January. I give you my goals for 2026 and the accomplishments for the previous year that I share with Keith McGill, our municipal manager. This year, one of the commissioners requested that we work on our goals with a consultant. So I didn't put this in the packet, but it's basically the goals that we listed is to design, part of the renovation project, design a renovated library space that is modern, accessible, and valued by the community. And part of that will be conducting community focus groups to make sure that what we're doing, especially as we start getting into the details and the nitty gritty of the flow and that kind of thing, works for the community. So that will be involved in our preliminary renovation. And just to maintain our current and diverse library collection, continue weeding the collection down to meet the needs of the renovation project, and doing our diversity audit, which has been ongoing for several years now, to make sure that we're, continuing our dedication to having a diverse and broad representative collection. And also gather feedback about it through a community survey about our collection and possibly about our programs as well. We've been wanting to do that for several years, but there's always so much going on that it's hard to get some of that stuff put in. So we'll be working on those things. And then also I've included in your packet our attendance report for the Pennsylvania Library Association conference for the staff members who did attend. I asked them to just write a paragraph. Some are more verbose than others. And I'm gonna admit that I kind of phoned it in and submitted an article that I had to write for the Pennsylvania Library Association anyway, rather than a private report for myself. But I feel like it's an important part for the library staff that attend, to let you know why they're going, what they've learned, that kind of thing. So that's included in my report.
What is the Keystone Grant deadline?
Next week. So Marina's pretty much got it done. She's just, dotting the i's, crossing the t's, and we should have it submitted in the next day or so.
When do they award it? When do they?
I can't remember the timeline, but it's pretty tight turnaround since they, compressed it and waited to open it back up. I think it was late December or early January, and then I think the window to start the work opens in April, I wanna say. I'm just guessing on these dates, holidays, so you can confirm with Marina the timeline if you need them for the minutes.
Any other questions for Robin? Okay, thank you, Robin. Committee reports, Anthony, I'll let you go first, because I don't even know if you guys met or had a reason to meet. Do you have
We
anything?
were going to meet earlier this week, last night in fact, but the necessity for Marina to get the Keystone grant finished obviously took
Okay.
priority. So early December, Holiday, Maura, Marina, Robin, and me will meet just to hash out some more complete planning for next summer's garden tour, which will be June the 14th. And it's hard to believe, on one hand, it seems like, yeah, that's 6 months away, and then you realize that last one was almost 5.5 months ago, you know, and then, and the time goes by really fast, so chances are at our next meeting, I should be able to have a more complete picture of, you know, planning strategy, et cetera. So that's where we stand.
Awesome, thank you. Governance committee did meet last week and it was all policy related, so I'm gonna push 99% of it to new business. This is a bit of a cruel tease, but I did want to give the full board a heads up that we've identified a policy we're gonna have to address next year, that the discussion around it could be a bit more colorful than what usually happens with policies. And we felt it was something that should be addressed by the whole board as opposed to the governance committee first. So it's not anything included in any of this. We don't have to worry about it till January, but if you're interested in having policy discussions that are gonna be a bit more colorful than usual,
There's some philosophy involved.
yes, come to the January meeting, because it's something we are going to have to jump on early next year rather than wait for our early policy schedule. Again, I apologize for being a tease. I just wanted to let you know, come to the January meeting if you want to talk about serious policy stuff.
Never thought policy could be fun.
I know.
And here we are.
Otherwise, I'm bumping the rest of our stuff to the presentation
Well, can I
policies.
just quickly say
Yes.
the budget workshop, Pete and I
Oh, yeah.
attended on behalf of the library. We presented our budget to the municipality in front of Ann and the other commissioners, Keith McGill. Everyone was very complimentary. They're planning, I've got the budget here if anybody wants to look at it. You all approved this language back in July, I wanna say. But basically, the manager has recommended we be funded at the level we were funded last year, which is the full amount we asked for, which includes the extra bump for e-resources support. So, yeah. I don't anticipate any changes there, so it's all good.
By the way, I think lively was the word I was looking for, not
Lively.
colorful. The
Spirited.
policy discussion could be a little more lively and spirited come January.
So when is the January meeting?
Do we have the
It's
next year's
usually-
meeting, Sharon? Or-
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got from May to
yeah, it's
April.
made it.
So usually it's the day after Martin Luther King Day. I think that's how it falls again this coming January as well, so it's, and yes.
20, 19, 20.
Okay, old business, nothing is on the agenda. Do we have any old business? Anybody have any old business? All right. New business, we will go to the presentation of policies we do have. So these are all in the packet, I presume?
No.
Oh,
they're
they were
not
on
printed out.
Govenda. They're not printed out.
Yeah,
They
I
were in
can-
Govenda.
Well.
Okay,
I can share I can bring up Govenda and share on the big screen if you need to see them.
yeah, bring them up. Can you do that?
Yep.
We're presenting these tonight. No, we're taking questions. Are we voting tonight?
Yeah, we voted the next meeting.
Oh,
We voted the next one.
We were going to present them in September, but.
But I wasn't
we were,
here. You guys all decided to wait.
occupied.
Okay, so here's where we're at. We have 4 policies that the governance committee is happy with some notes that I'm going to give you. They've all been in Govenda for weeks, so hopefully if you were
Months,
interested,
actually.
months, so hopefully if you were interested, you looked over them. I know Holiday did because she sent me notes, which we're gonna go over here in a minute. We will be voting on them in our January meeting, so if you haven't done your homework and you really wanna give these a look over before we vote, do that do that between now and the January meeting.
Okay, just tell me which one.
Go to confidentiality. Holiday was nice enough to completely read them and send me some notes.
What do you wanna look at, the current, the red line, or the clean new copy?
Clean.
Okay. I have to actually share this so that it's in the video.
I'm sorry to make you do work.
I can do that at all. I'm gonna show you it right.
I'm having her bring it up because there are some questions I have, based on points that Holiday raised, the governance committee has some questions for the full board
Mhm.
and what we want to do.
Okay.
So this 1.4 on page 2. To be clear, if you can see point 4 there, that language is going to read.
For the record, do you wanna talk about the in general, the?
Sure, although you might be better prepared to do, I mean, I know what they'll do, but you're more familiar with the policy. Do you want to talk about what each policy? So let's read the purpose. The confidentiality of library records is to ensure that all records relating to patron registration and the subsequent use and of circulation of patrons materials provided by the library are considered confidential in nature. We actually spent a lot of time on this one. This one determines, like, it protects people so that someone can't walk in
Right.
without your card,
Mhm.
even if they're related to you, and get information. You have to,
Basically, our procedure was not following the policy.
Right.
There was an outdated form as an appendix that we needed to get rid of and just figure out how we were going to adjust to a new modern system where rather than keeping paper signatures, we do electronic signatures and that kind of thing.
so basically what we do, the staff already has a policy for this that works pretty well. There was a couple small questions we addressed, but we basically adjusted the policy to match what the staff does. Go to point 4. Holiday was a little bit concerned about the language, so where it says only to the patron who owns the library card and provides that card, or that's been changed to just owns and presents the library card. It has to be your card and you have to have it with you. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Point 6 on page 2, scroll down. Holiday, we agreed with you that all the copy editing there look wonky. We made will lowercase and all the items in the checklist are lowercase now as well. Yes, if you're ever end up in the governance committee, we turn into huge grammar nerds and go through
It's a
line by
wild, it's a
line.
wild
And
time.
yes,
There's
it
a lot of
really is.
capitalization arguments.
I know.
But except for those 2 changes, which I
Those are
guess,
changes that Holiday requested to our current copy that has been in here. That I just-
will we make those changes before we vote in January? Can we do that? Or-
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
As soon as I get a chance this week, it's just, we made these determinations on Thursday. night,
So,
I just haven't had
does anyone else have concerns or questions about this particular policy?
The major changes in the appendices, as I said,
Mhm.
rather than having 2 appendices, and I don't even remember what the second one was. This is just our patron agreement that we make sure that every new library card holder gets to read and then they sign a consent form at the time of registration, and if it's a minor child, then their parent has to sign for them.
Mhm.
While some libraries permit underage, like teenagers to get their own cards without parental consent, we decided not to do that, not to go that route. While it is a barrier to access for a lot of families, it also gives us we feel, a leg to stand on as a book sanctuary,
Mhm.
that we can say, while we have all these things in our collection, we believe it is the parent's responsibility to
Right.
manage their child's use of the library, and for us, a child is anyone under the legal age of 18.
Agreed. Good
And
point.
can you scroll back up?
Yes. To,
No, actually down 8. Patrons in physical possession of another patron's library card will be assumed to have permission to pick up materials and held to check out on behalf, blah, blah, blah.
That was the other appendix.
That was something we talked a lot about, because we have people who just like have their husband pick up their books or have their kid or whatever. And we made it clear that you can, what is it? You have to sign a waiver and give the card? Is that-
No,
okay.
no,
I
we
see the-
used to have a waiver thing, but we just don't keep those kind of records anymore. And like the practicality of it wasn't happening. So what we did was change this. So if you have your wife's card, you come into the library and ask to pick up her folds. If you have her card, we assume you have her permission, unless we hear otherwise from the card holder. So if somebody has their card stolen or their
Right.
husband takes their card and they don't want their husband to know what kind of books they're checking out, maybe they're getting a divorce or something, you know. As long as they contact us and let us know, I don't want anybody else using my card, we can put a note on their account
Mhm.
and,
Right.
you know, we'll refuse to release the items.
So again, this was all stuff they're kind of doing, but none of this was stated in the policy.
Right,
Is that in there now, that if you have the card? this
yes,
is-
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
What is the waiver mentioned at the end of point 8? I apologize. We've been talking about this stuff ad nauseum for a
This
year.
is the waiver, basically,
Yeah.
this section is the waiver.
So again, you can all read that online. We're hoping to, the governance committee is recommending that we vote to approve
Mhm.
in January.
Mhm.
And if anybody has any more questions before then, email me. Like,
Well,
go ahead.
Is this patron agreement, is it no longer exists? That's what the lining out all means?
Right, yes,
So they don't do it at all?
they do, but they do it on, they just read this. And we will give them a print copy if they want. There's a copy at the reference desk for them to read and then sign off,
Mhm.
or the circulation desk rather, when they get their card. So rather than have a paper copy of a form, they just sign electronically
sign
after reading it.
Got it, okay.
So, and this is always available online, so anybody could read this at any time. And we also, like I said, have them read it when they get the card.
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions about confidentiality? Again, you have time if you still want to look at it, but we do want to vote on these in January.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, can you
So-
pull,
Other than the things you're mentioning today, if I read this last month, I'm good, right? Cool.
Yes.
Correct, cool.
yes,
Are we still gonna
Um,
leave this agreement in the policy, though? You know, even though it's electronic existence in the process?
Yes,
This is the
yes.
clean copy right here, which you can get to through Govenda and read, and this is what it looks like, the clean copy. What we're going to vote on, so,
But none of this?
no,
Okay, got it.
We good?
Yep.
Can you pull up evaluation director?
as soon as I can find it. Let's see.
The evaluation of director policy was a nightmare again, because it didn't at all match of how we conduct our director evaluation. So basically, we completely rewrote it from scratch. To match what we do. Holiday, you had made a point about, we think you were reading an older draft at one point, Holiday, because you asked me a question about, maybe strike, it said that it was shared with the community, and you said maybe strike out the community, as I assume we do not share it with them. That's gone. That's not actually in here.
Okay.
So Robin has the full draft up. I do have a question for you all about this one. As per Holiday's suggestion, no, this was a good suggestion.
Okay.
I'm not, we decided we should probably add a point at the end of this that says something along the lines of an officer of the board is responsible for keeping our director evaluations available for review for up to so many years. Holiday suggested that this should be in the policy. We agreed. The question is should we name the officer of the board who's responsible for that? Should it be the secretary? Should it be the president? Or do we just want to say an officer of the board so that responsibility could float around if necessary? And how many years do we want to say this board needs to keep its director evaluations available in case we have a problem with Robin or the next director and the municipality wants to go back and, maybe they lost theirs and they want to go back and look at our reviews. So our recommendation was 3 years, but we just talked about this on Thursday. We didn't really, so I thought I would
yeah.
open the floor for discussion. Again, do we want to name the person here responsible for this? And do we want to set a number of years that we would hold on to these evaluations?
How about the president or his or her designee and 3 years?
What's a board term?
3 years.
3 years.
Oh, it is? We wanna keep it
And I
for 2
think,
terms?
I just thought of this, but we've never used it, but at one time, the municipality set up shared folders for all of the
I was gonna ask,
boards.
where is this thing being
I
held?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
On
we
my
could
hard drive
actually-
at home.
we could
I don't
actually
know anything about a shared folder other than
Yeah,
Govenda,
we've never
but
used it, like, we kind of tried, but yeah, we can keep it in Govenda.
Mm. Yeah, since we're all, we already saw it, it's not like it's new stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
keep in mind, I've only done this review twice. And the first time it was just kind of in a hurry because it was a new responsibility
I
for
feel like
me.
the language
and
in
then-
general, as far as where we keep it, just because, the
Yeah,
software might change.
I like just keeping available for review. And we can decide where we want to stash these.
But shouldn't, the only thing is like, shouldn't we say it's on, like, kept at the library? Like, we really don't want it on a person's home,
But it might be in the cloud on a shared folder somewhere, like. I
but
don't-
still via the library, not via somebody's home computer. That's what
Agreed.
I'm wondering.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It should be housed.
Because if a future president winds up hating Robin, they could monkey with the
It's
document.
happened.
Yeah.
And you have
Oh,
thoughts.
I
like,
just
how you're
thought,
trying
I
to
just
do
thought,
that.
I just thought you're relying on somebody taking care of, like,
Anne can
taking
speak.
care of that in their own home. I don't know, I think that's a good idea.
Does Keith keep a copy of this?
I believe you submitted.
It's sent to him. I don't know if he would
Oh,
even
I'm
know
sure
where
he
it's
keeps a
at.
copy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll know exactly where it is.
When,
You don't know
basically, this year, Robin got a copy, Keith got a copy, and then the whole board got a copy. The whole board was a little delayed. Again, I've been kind
All
of,
right.
I rebuilt this from the way it used to be done and have been easing my way into how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And this helps have a strict policy down, not just for me,
Right.
my last year or two. I don't have much time left, but, whoever is after me.
I think the wording that you came up with, the president or
President or
their.
his or her
their
designee.
So we still could talk about the amount of time.
All right, let me write this
At a
down.
Private, yet shareable, a library governed facility or whatever, app, whatever you wanna call it. Because we don't wanna say Govenda specifically, like you said.
Right, like I said, yeah, because they raise the price on Govenda every year, so at some point we may decide to just, go somewhere.
Well, but here in the library, things like the Keystone Grant and various important documents like that, are those kept on, like, does Marina have a Keystone Grant and Sharon has other things, or is there a place that?
I mean, we have a SharePoint that the EI network keeps, and we have a shared, MLPL staff, SharePoint folder.
Again, Robin gets a copy of
I
this,
do
and I'm
have
sure
a
she
copy.
puts it somewhere, but then
Yes.
again, if the president went to war with the board, they could delete their copy and.
Yeah, or I could just copy an old one and put a new
Yeah.
date on it.
Or you could create it into a PDF. and
Or once it's a
run it that way.
non-editable.
But yeah, I mean, general enough, but specific enough to know what the policy.
Right, I just think if you say it's gonna be kept somewhere.
The thing is, this is a digital file, so
It will be kept on a library board platform.
That's good.
Right, and isn't that what Govenda's called?
I guess we could keep it on the vendor, right?
I
Yeah,
think
there's no
so.
reason, I
Sure.
Can you delete stuff from the window or
You
once?
can delete, the documents
If-
folder,
if
I
I
can delete
share-
it, I
If,
can lock
listen,
it
if
down.
I share
for
something on
certain
Govenda,
people.
can you delete it?
I think so, I'm the administrator, so I should be able to. I can reduce your power to just like viewing things.
Why,
if I
why would you
wanted
do
to.
that?
I'm just saying I could. I have that ability.
I sense an
I think-
overthrow, a coup.
I feel like, I'm not so concerned about where it's located. I feel like the safest thing is to make sure it gets to,
Enough people.
right, if the whole
Yeah.
board has a copy, if Keith has a copy,
Yeah.
if Robin has a copy,
I can easily keep a copy of Govenda.
Mhm.
I think that's the way to
appropriate.
do it.
Yeah.
President or his or her designee for 3 years, and it's housed whatever language we use.
And I
or-
can limit it to specific people able to see it, so I don't necessarily want my staff who have
Right,
Govenda
right.
accounts to see it,
Right,
but
that's good.
There you
if
go.
the
Yeah.
board and
There
Keith
you
and
go.
Ann wanna see it, they
Right,
can have
there you
access.
Right.
I don't think it's a terrible thing to have it on my hard drive and our secretary's hard drive and have,
I don't think it's a terrible.
yeah,
thing,
you know,
But if,
backups are good,
but if something happens and we're like, oh
Right,
goodness,
right?
holiday moves and you move and we're like, oh shoot, it's 2 years and 11 months.
Maura, I can't afford to move. Okay, so what do you want to say? For review on,
Library platform.
I like the
Okay.
library
A
platform.
designated library platform.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
okay,
However you want to phrase it.
And there is somewhere.
on a shared library platform.
Yeah, a shared
okay.
library platform, yes.
When we were working on these policies, for instance, I locked down that particular folder so that only the governance committee could see them.
Sure.
And then I later opened it up. for everybody.
I like for up to 3 years.
I
3 years?
agree.
Yeah.
President and with the president, and his or her designee, because we rotate enough people on and off.
Okay.
That there's always gonna be some change in that 3-year cycle.
Okay, so,
Means there'll always be 3 copies on there.
Mm-hmm.
They always
Yeah.
take the oldest one.
Mhm.
yeah, correct, correct.
That's why I say 6 years. I would say 2 terms. Just 1 term.
Oh, you
Other-
think it should
other-
say
I
6?
do.
I mean, it doesn't matter to
At
me.
least 5, yeah, or said at least 5.
Uh,
But
I guarantee, we probably don't even have 6 years back right now. I'd go 5. 5?
Yeah.
Let's go 5.
It's a nice.
It's a nice number.
Okay, so what happens is when I'm gonna like fancy, it'll say this, I'll make sure it's grammatically correct and fancied up and sounding nice. I'll have Robin insert it as a new point, and when this goes
Right.
back and Govinda to vote on, this point will be in there.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me see where we're at. Memberships. Can we pull up memberships?
You didn't like that, you were fine with it serve as a formal vehicle of communication between the board and the director?
We thought that was fine.
Okay.
I mean, that is what it's
What does it
for.
mean?
It means that if
It's a way to
we,
tell
if we have a
somebody-
problem with the way Robin's doing things, it's our best way to tell her that.
Oh, that's right,
Mhm.
yeah, put it right.
Mhm.
But we did address it holiday and I've written down, we think it's fine. I promise you, we addressed every one of your points. Okay, so the membership policy,
It was just massively out of date, the old one.
yeah, again, this was just a thing that was massively out of date, as Robin said. The note I have is that Holiday, you had a question about, do contracts require personal memberships? But I have my notes back to you down, but I don't have your original. Do you remember what you asked me about that?
It says, the last paragraph mentions that active participation is encouraged.
Mhm.
Active
Mhm.
participation by the library board and staff in these organizations, including blah, 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 is encouraged. So my question was, is it in their contracts?
No.
We have an answer.
Yeah, no library employee has a contract, including myself. There are expectations by the state for continuing education credits. For all of the rest of the staff other than me, it's 6 credits over 3 years, I wanna say, might be 2 years.
And that's a requirement?
It's a requirement of the state, but all it is a checkbox on the state report saying, do all of your employees have 6 credits over this? And I always check yes, because they do. We're
So,
doing webinars and things like that all the time. I'm required to have 12 continuing education credits each year, which I easily meet with all of my attendance at conferences and that kind of thing. So we encourage membership and attendance at events, but it's not a requirement because between our staff development day and all of the other things we do, the staff get their credits in.
so this is exactly what I've written down. There are no contracts and personal memberships technically aren't required. However, credits are needed, which Robin does manage as part of her responsibilities. And we're still not sure if this actually needs to be in this policy. So we thought we'd explain all
it's-
that, and then I would ask you and the board.
Well, no, the fact is, it's addressed in the library board and director duties policy that I maintain.
That's fine.
To make sure that everybody gets their.
Which we're
credits.
actually about to, oh wait, no, that's coming up the
No,
next
that's
meeting.
coming
That's
up
the
next
next meeting.
You were talking earlier about the grammar police. I'm about to turn into the grammar police.
Do it.
And it's a small thing, or maybe it's not. Library at the top has a capital L, at the bottom it has a lowercase L.
This is one of.
Sorry, Kristen.
No,
I'm
we talk about this at every meeting.
I'm a journalist, by trade, and I'm still recovering.
Uh,
Recovering.
I am adamant that library and board should always be capitalized, and then staff we fight about.
Okay, that's all right,
Uh,
but there is one thing that does have to be added.
Yep.
Comma has to be added after meetings.
Yeah,
And the
we have-
second to the last line.
We
You
did,
did catch that.
no, we discussed it because I wrote it in the last of
He's
our
right. I
meeting.
don't think I marked that one.
I did,
Including attendance at conferences. and
He's right.
meetings,
It's an
comma,
independent
is
clause.
encouraged.
yeah.
Do you want me to
We
write that down?
Yes,
Okay,
make notes
okay,
or anything
okay,
you want
okay.
to change.
And
Which
then,
one is this?
again,
This is,
the-
this is,
Memberships.
The capital L in library and the lowercase L in library. If
you're exactly right.
my wife were to ever watch this, she'd be like Anthony Joseph. But, recovering journalists. are
Anthony,
recovering
ask them
journalists,
how
right?
I was gonna say,
Ask them how I come in raging about capitalization.
well, and we just discussed that as a matter of principle, we should just capitalize the library all the time because we do. Every
is-
one of them has it different.
Yeah.
Forget
within-
capital I from Sesame Street, capital L, all right?
Just- Blanket.
We
Where's
also
that?
had a long conversation about how helpful AI would be in getting us to
Mm.
homogenize
Yeah.
all of our.
Mm.
That's another
And then-
tease. We will
and then
probably be
Bob-
voting on an AI
Bob
policy
told
next
me that
year.
I get to be kicked off the library.
Well, I felt bad about that.
It was another spirited and
Yeah,
hilarious.
Kristen.
Hilarious.
Kristen's a little more pro AI than me and I got angry. It happens. It was out of love.
It was
That
really
moment
funny
in
those
faculty
examples.
See, you
meetings where
don't
the
think
minutes
the
go,
policy
conversation
meetings are gonna
ensued.
be hilarious, and
Conversation
yet
ensued.
we have a
Right.
really good time.
So I will now step off my grammar soapbox and return to the.
Wait a minute, where did that comma go? I don't wanna lose it.
After
After-
meetings on the second to the last line.
Meetings, comma, is
Oh, wow.
encouraged.
Okay.
Thank you for encouraging.
No, listen, once we're done with these things, we wanna be done with these things and we want them to sit on the website for at least a half a decade at least without having to look at them again,
Thank you for
so.
attending my TED Talk.
Okay, any other questions about memberships? Anybody bring anything with them? Holiday you had?
No,
All right. Last one, purpose and authority, Robin.
This is one of
Uh,
the oldest,
Purpose and authority has our favorite word in
It
it.
does.
Tell them what our favorite word is, Kristen.
Is it the
It's in
inviolate
violet,
or,
Ooh.
but also polity?
holiday, yes.
did we already do this one because it's not in this?
Oh, it says 1 to 10 items, that's why you're.
I know,
probably
we
in the
talked
next
about
page.
it. I have notes on it from,
We did.
I do too.
Okay, Robin, scroll down.
no,
to the
we talked
bottom.
about it on Thursday.
Scroll down to the very bottom, see it says,
Oh.
it's the next page,
I didn't.
there you go, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been a long day.
Comma, no.
This was another one too, where board was.
That-
was a lot
Yes.
This has not been
willy-nilly.
updated since 1988.
Oh, geez.
I mean, it just needed cleaned up, like at the top, it said purpose and authority
Okay.
polity. So it had been
Oh,
misspelled for.
It wasn't very
Um,
years.
No, but we looked up polity. It is a word,
It was a
but
word.
it is, but not for what this.
Mm-mm.
See, this is one in line 4, board, I have board should be capitalized in point
Uh-huh.
4. That's, I might have sent you that fixed, but
Mhm.
it needs to be,
Yeah,
let me write that
because we
down.
also had, this was the one that was in multiple colors.
Just do a
Yeah, basically-
Control F.
I don't think we've really made any content changes
No.
with this one.
I have a question about this one.
If we
I
are,
do have stuff.
if we are being really strict with English, I promise I'll stop. Point 4, third line should be that, not which. If we really want to be technical, and if you kick me off the board in the next 5 minutes, I will understand. Why don't you throw in a comment?
Yeah, it should be that.
I feel like they're interchangeable, but
Which generally requires a comma. And we won't start commas again.
that's true.
I mean, you're both journalists, I'm gonna let you.
I'll change to that. I don't care.
Point
I
number
am an
2
Oxford comma.
in the
believer.
parentheses
I'm
with
yes,
the
I
board,
love an
it should say
Oxford.
IE, comma, board.
So we discussed the IE, and just based on how we have it in other policies, we're never using the IE.
Huh.
And we think it makes sense as it is. I understand why you would put IE there. but we typically.
Cause
aren't
we
using
didn't
it.
use it all in the
Well, like in the
library
memberships.
either.
The memberships policy, for example, will have Pennsylvania Library Association, parentheses, PALA.
Okay, so then
So-
you're saying I'm gonna use this abbreviation from here on out.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it was
Got it.
just us trying to be consistency,
Got it.
And
consistent.
we also spent multiple meetings discussing inviolate.
Is that
Yes.
why it's in green?
Yes.
Yes, because we tried to come up with
It's
a
not
better
in
way
green
to
anymore.
say it,
It
No,
turned
it's
you
no
green.
longer
but
green.
it really
Well, it
wasn't.
wasn't a mistake. It was
No.
just a weird word.
And
we
we
weren't sure
had a
that it-
lot of time.
Okay,
best word to use, but it was.
we do have a question about this because Holiday asked, is there a difference between staff and library employees? The maintenance crew, for example, are they staff? If so or not, do the policies cover them as well? And what we all learned on Thursday, what the governance committee learned on Thursday is the maintenance crew is not library staff, they are municipal staff.
Yeah, we are
Yeah,
all
okay.
municipal employees. They're under the Public Works Department.
So-
We're under the library.
They have their own set of policies they followed.
Okay.
Now I have, if it would make you feel better, and if the board thinks we need to, we could add and municipal employees to this policy if we want to.
Well,
Does
I
it
don't
cover
know.
them?
I don't know.
I mean, that's.
I mean, it's, but they,
That's a Phil Weiss
Fully
question, I
jump.
think.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I mean, all.
right,
all
really Ann's the
municipal-
one we should ask. And if Ann thinks it's fine without it,
Cause we just decided then
the
that.
maintenance crew is not our employees.
Yeah,
they're not.
Basically,
Yeah.
none of our policies are specific to employees anymore, really, except maybe the like use of technology. But we don't have any of the employment policies because all of those are covered by the municipal personnel manual.
Right.
Mhm.
and I think we decided to just put the period after accessible. And get rid of library staff and general public because then it was, everyone was covered.
I didn't write that down, but I think it's.
I-
because I
we
wanted
did
to
talk
ask.
Sure,
about it.
readily accessible.
What line are you on?
I think I
Very
wanted
end.
to leave it.
6,
Yeah, we're on line 6. Library policy should be readily accessible to the library staff and the general public.
And they are all available online.
And again, Holiday had the question of whether that covers, she wanted to know if there was a difference between staff and library employees and whether maintenance crew was covered, and the answer is they're not.
Okay.
Which technically would make them the general public.
Yes.
Technically,
True.
without dismissing the
Right.
importance of what they do. That's not.
I like it saying library staff and the general public. I think it reads fine as is.
Yes.
Leave it in.
Okay. Any other questions about this policy? Holiday, do you have other stuff? We
That
addressed
was it.
everything.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay.
I think that was it.
So we are going to make those tweaks and present these policies to a vote in January.
Mhm.
And if they are approved, we will then get them replaced and up on the website in short order. Where else do they go? I'm assuming your staff has access
We
to
have
full.
copy at the reference desk, I believe, but it's all
Yeah,
available on the
and-
website.
and-
Nobody looks in the binders anymore.
Um,
We do ask that if you have any further feedback, that if you can get us to us in the next like month, and then we'll have
Right.
the second month to check with Phil Weiss if we need something,
And
or, you know,
not-
make changes before
Right.
the meeting.
if the governance committee would need to get together before then, we can do it. We're hoping not to.
Yeah, we
We
don't
hope to not meet till February, but if we have to, we can.
Colorful meeting in January.
That's not our meeting, that's
Right.
this meeting.
I know.
That's, yeah,
Yeah,
that-
because then we have a quorum.
Then we have a
That's-
quorum, yeah.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're not.
Oh.
So yeah, that's all the fun stuff we've been doing. And Anthony, if you're coming with grammar stuff, you're coming to the right committee because we love it. It's half of our time,
I'm sorry.
unless me and Kristen are yelling at each other about AI. Okay, let me get back to my main agenda here. Thanks for hearing all that, the minutia of all that out. Ann was thrilled down there, I could tell.
Oh, man. I just have.
Wild time.
It's better than storm sewers, right? Like,
know.
you don't talk about storm sewers.
Um,
It's an
Now, see,
ignored
I
when they
love
come out.
storm
Oh,
sewers.
well, okay.
Storm sewers, that's my bag.
We've done, I do,
Yeah,
listen,
traffic calming,
I-
all my bag.
I do wanna say that seemed like a bunch of teeny tiny nitpicking, but that's because we've actually done a lot of work in the past 6
Yeah.
months. Making sure that we were matching what
Mhm.
Robin staff is doing now and making sure there aren't loopholes so that if the board and the municipality and the director all go to war with each other, that
God forbid.
everything is down in writing the way we want it.
Well, and let me just clarify that the things they're doing are still, they're acceptable things. They're not just like
Yeah.
going off and doing
Right.
things that are
Yeah.
counter to the spirit of the library or the mission or anything like that.
So if,
Or illegal, like.
and all of these things are Govenda, if
Good.
you go to Govenda, you can read what current policy, redlined policy, and the ones we presented tonight, and you can see some of these were severely changed.
Mhm.
Not to anything that was controversial, just things that are lining up with current operations and closing loopholes.
Makes sense.
So if you have any concerns between now and the third Tuesday of January, please email me. There's also a fifth policy which we are not presenting tonight. That is what's that, Paul? It's
Library board and.
it's the responsibility, duties. It's basically a policy that outlines, here's the library director's responsibilities, here's the library's board responsibilities.
Mhm.
And it is a
Good.
clear separation of church and state of, this is what the library director can do, and this is what the board can do. And this is what the board can't do without the director, and this is what the director can't do without the board. We have that one, I did a lot of work on it, the committee did a lot of work on it, we have it in a pretty good place where I think we decided we're gonna sit on it. Haven't we decided that we were gonna sit
We
on it
did.
until, because we'll be tackling, in addition to the one we're gonna be talking about in January, which might get a little lively, we also will be tackling a couple more outdated policies next year.
Mhm.
This one we have basically almost done, but rather than have you guys looking at policies all the time, we're gonna wait 4 months till May and package it with those.
And can I just say how exceptionally proud I am of y'all for working on these policies and having a regular rotation and making sure they're kept up to date. I mean, that's almost unheard of for a library board to do. I'm just really proud of us for putting that in place and sticking with it. So, thank you.
You're welcome. So, again, yeah, there'll be more fun incoming, but these are the 4 right now.
Are we allowed to know what policy that is in January?
The fund
It's-
policy.
Yeah, like what is?
It's the lending policy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Um,
updated it a few years ago, but there's something that's come up that we need to discuss, so.
Okay,
okay.
That's fair.
all right, fine. I don't wanna derail, so.
I was debating whether to be more teasing, but, we'll get into it in January.
Mhm.
We may have to make serious adjustments to our lending policy. Uh, any questions at all about any of that? About our schedule, about what we're doing? Any other new business? Okay, I think we can officially adjourn this meeting. You may stop recording. We have advocacy, but before that, I think we have something.
In lieu of.
Is it in lieu of
It
or
is
in addition
I
to?
believe it is in lieu of.
Okay, we have in